Officials of the government have said repeatedly that no one is forced to take the vaccine against COVID-19. Recent wording of a government statement on vaccination seems to suggest, however, that individual companies could sideline at the very least employees who are not vaccinated, and this has had some concern among employees. In addition, there will now be a frequent financial cost in COVID-19 testing for persons who choose not to be vaccinated. At a recent tourism stakeholders meeting, that issue of personal rights not to take the vaccine was raised and responded to by a minister of government as well as two tourism officials during the tourism stakeholders meeting.
It is your right, it is your prerogative not to take the vaccine. But likewise, it is our policy to implement whatever we feel necessary to ensure that we keep the industry safe by whatever means. Because I could have my private right, that's fine, because I don't want an intrusion into my body, that's my right. And I have a constitutional right for that. But my constitutional right has to be balanced with the public good to keep the majority of us safe. And that is the issue.
You also have the option in relation to not taking the vaccine, but you will have to get tested as per what the requirement is going to be by the CMO. So we're also saying we understand your right, but it will be your cost to have yourself tested as that will be specified. It is a public health situation for tourism. Tourism cannot restart or for cruise to resume if we do not have 100% vaccination. We have seen over the last year, even up to about August, where they tried with a Fred Olsen cruise, and what happened? They tried bubbles, it did not work. We were told from last year when the pandemic started, from as early as summer, that from whether it was the CDC, the equivalent in the European Union, that the only way out of this pandemic was vaccination.
You're saying that it is being imposed on you. That is what mandated means, that it is being imposed on you. But by the same token, if you look at it from the other side, when I have taken my vaccination and you do not take yours, whoever the person might be, you are imposing on me that I must interact in my workplace with you. So it's an imposition. You are mandating to me that I must work with you too. So we have to pause and think, because I say to people all the time, every right has an attendant responsibility. Rights do not exist in a vacuum. You must balance how you feel about yourself and your rights with other people's rights as well. Right? Because we say that vaccinations can protect you up to about 70 to 90% depending on the type of vaccination, which means that there's still a window, a 30% window, a 10% window, that even though I'm vaccinated, I can get sick. And yes, if I do get sick, from what we are hearing medically, scientifically, the type of illness that I get might be not so bad. But what about my granddaughter who is at home, who is 4? If I take it home and I give it to her, she's not vaccinated. My mother who is 87, she's not vaccinated. How will it affect them? And aren't you, by refusing to take the vaccination, imposing on them something that perhaps they would not want to happen? So we have to be careful about how we look at this thing. It can't be about me, 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 me. It has to be about us. That is why we are here.
There is an urgency being expressed as attempts are being made to fully reopen the economy on 1st October, while receiving very limited numbers of cruise ships as early as June. Glenn Barth, SKN Newsline.